Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this experimental venue worldwide show. I'm Melody Melak. I'm the co-founder of the A-Stream Collective, and I'm co-hosting this show with Cedric, in which we connect with experimental scene around the world. And today we're super happy to have the duo Nam from Iran and Georgia. The music that you heard at the beginning was a track from a compilation, Retrieving Beirut, that Cedric released on his Syrphe label. Check it out. All the benefits go to support the Lebanese folks. And Cedric will be mainly doing the interview. I will be checking out the chat on YouTube. If you want to ask questions, please feel free to do so.
Hello. I hope everything is fine today. Melody made the introduction, and so, as she said, we have Nam today, tonight, this afternoon, depending on where you are. Nam is a duo from northern Iran, based in Tbilisi in Georgia right now. Could you introduce a tiny bit of what you do and why you moved to Tbilisi and so on and so forth?
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. It's a bit complicated.
No, you should actually
like this, right?
No.
Okay.
It's okay.
Maybe?
No, you're not afraid.
Okay. I see. Can you help us with this? Or...
Come a little to the left.
Okay. I'm here. You're there also? Okay.
It's kind of complicated.
It's mirrored. So, yes, we are Nam, a duo originally from Iran, and we are based in Tbilisi. We moved here to Tbilisi around 3 years ago, 2017. We came here, and because of this splitted video, I got very shocked and didn't say hello everyone. So so yeah, and yeah, do you want to add something or?
I don't know. Yeah, actually we are Nam and we are currently based in Tbilisi. We moved here around actually 3.5 years ago. And yeah, so we were in Iran before that time.
Right.
So what else should I add?
Okay, that's fine. So, well, for the people who don't know what you do, I discovered your music. I think you wrote me a few years ago, and back then you were still in Iran, and you were playing some kind of electronica synth pop with vocals. And then now your music evolved to something more connected to electroacoustic, experimental, and drone music. Could you explain this evolution or change?
Yes. We started from kind of pop culture to make our own songs, mostly like electronic pop, synth pop, as you said, or
weird pop, maybe.
weird pop, I could say, because it was like we were making music with like classical pop or trip hop music, like you have verse and chorus, repetitive verse and chorus. Then we put some soundscape in between, which was very close to our new kind of music or new approach. Then time by time we got to this point that okay, let's make not a song kind of music which is completely soundscape or completely ambient and colorful and atmospheric. And time by time, we got more familiar with electroacoustic and experimental music, where you can process every kind of acoustic source from everything that we could reach to, like Maryam's voice, or Maryam plays flute, Maryam plays guitar, also field recording everything. Then we started to combine these processed acoustic sounds together, and we enjoyed it more than making songs. For now, we also do.
Yeah, we also doing that kind of stuff too. That kind of songs.
Yeah, but mostly we are
songs.
doing electroacoustic music and experimenting. Okay, cool. We are experimenting.
But it's kind of more interesting that you are more free to experience the sound, to create your own kind of sounding.
Yeah,
to say.
Exactly. Because
Yeah, your music now sounds a bit cinematic at some point. You create some atmospheres, and you use a lot of field recordings in some of the pieces as well. Is that important for you?
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, exactly. Because in some points, we got to this perspective that we can make a scene which is not real, and you just, it's like you put your audience in the middle of a scene which doesn't have an vision, and it's just from the sound point of view. It's a completely sonic movie kind of. We started to experience something like this, which is very close to ambient music, but uh, something that's something that I'm not against ambient music or anything. The only thing that I have a bit problem with ambient music is most of the people or most of the audience consider it as like background music, which I don't like my music to be background, honestly. So we started to make some atmospheres which are very dynamic and which are kind of getting your attention. It's not just something that you play in the background and you do whatever you're doing. So we started to make, as you said, more cinematic music, because in sometimes we were talking about that, how we can recreate a memory which is getting recreated or represented as you remember a memory in your mind, which is very abstract, which is like it has some elements from reality, but it doesn't sound or it doesn't look like reality. It's like mixed up some real elements. So we started to do some experiments like this, that how we can recreate our memories or recreate some visions just with some sonic elements, not with videos or something. I could say something
All
like
right,
this.
thanks.
Yeah.
And speaking about ambient, in Iran there is a huge ambient scene. Could you speak a tiny
Sorry, we
bit
don't
about
have your
it?
sound.
Oh,
We don't have your voice. Didn't hear it.
Oh, all right.
Can you
Okay.
repeat it?
And now do you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. So yeah, speaking about ambient music, in Iran there is a huge ambient music scene at some point. Could you speak a tiny bit about it?
Maryam?
Yeah, it's kind of weird that there is a lot of ambient musicians there, but I don't know why. Maybe because of the situation, the social and political situation there. Because as you might know, that you can't play dance music or other kind of like rock and metal music. So maybe people are more into this kind of music and making it.
Yes. Yeah. I can add. Yeah, I think the same, because having like any kind of movement in the public is kind of problematic in Iran because of many things, mostly political and ideological. So it's easier to have ambient project. When you're electronic musician, when you are not electronic musician, then it's different thing. But when you're electronic musician, it's easier to have like ambient concert or any kind of experimental music concert. So I guess because of that, the scene is that much big comparing to the people who makes like, I don't know, dance music, in Iran. Which if you play dance music or if you make dance music, there is a tiny little bit of chance you get that you can have gig. Actually, I could say it's possible that you can't even get a gig because you can't play like techno in public places. So it's easier to make ambient music just because of this point of view, not because ambient music is easier to make.
Maybe that's
I don't know.
one of the reasons. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think it's the reason. No, I don't think that's
it's not.
easier to make the good ambient music.
Yeah, it's not fair to say that ambient music is easier music. No, it's not.
Yeah.
So it's because mostly because of social and ideological and political problems there, I guess.
All right, but it's interesting to see that such a situation led a country to have one of the biggest scenes in the Middle East in the end, which is, I find it really funny. So speaking about music,
Funny? Boy, funny.
Yeah, okay, the political situation is pretty bad, but it's a failure from the regime, I think. If a regime forbids people to express themselves properly, and this leads to one of the most vibrant scenes in the Middle East, that's pretty funny, I think. It's ironic at some point because it's a failure.
For the regime,
you don't agree?
Yeah, at some point, yeah.
Yeah, for the regime is a failure, and from that point of view, it is funny because they wanna prevent you to grow, then you grow in your way, and this is the way nature works actually. So yeah, I agree.
All right, so we are going to listen to you live now. So your live set is going to be about 15 minutes. Yep.
Yes.
Here we go. Let's go for it.
Yes, let's go.
Thank you, Nam, for this performance. We've had a couple questions on YouTube. Somebody wants to know, what does Nam mean? Does it have a meaning, or is it an abbreviation? And somebody else asked if to compose, you start with a concept and then you create the music, or if you start with a sound that you find interesting and then you work it up from there.
Okay, Nam is just name in Persian, the equivalent of name in Persian. So it's a very close word actually. And about the composition, it's both. It's possible that we choose a concept, then we start to make sounds for that concept, and we start to continue composing. And also, it's possible that we start from a sketch from a sound that we like, something from like field recording or anything, record first, and we find it interesting. Then we start to process it, or building up something on top of that. Both way actually.
Yeah.
I could say generally, yeah.
Yeah, we don't have the certain way to create music. Sometimes it's like we have this idea, like from a dream or something. We want to create that atmosphere. We think about it before. Sometimes we find something interesting and working on it. Yes.
I think Cedric had more questions. Thank you for the answers.
Yes. So the other day we spoke about the scene in Georgia is pretty club and techno oriented rather than ambient or experimental music or electroacoustic. So you were telling that it's not always easy to get gigs and a big audience, or an audience that really focuses on your concerts when you play there.
Yeah. Actually, the experimental or I could say any kind of alternative electronic music, which is not mainstream, as like the dance music is. There is no a big or concentrated, I could say, scene for that in Georgia. There are some, they are growing, some, not even, I can't remember any specific festival which concentrates on experimental music. Yes, it's not that big, because mostly clubs and the venues that are focusing on like electronic music, they are more into dance music. Maybe it's because of financial issues, actually, because people are more into dance music, as everywhere there are, and there is not that much funds or grants, just like cultural grants, I could say, for alternative music. Yes, it's like this mostly in Georgia.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, it's a bit of a pity, and I 1 or 2 days ago I discovered a composer called Natela Zvanidze. Have you heard about her?
No, unfortunately.
No.
Okay, she composed electroacoustic and experimental music in Georgia in 1974. It's pretty interesting.
Oh, really? Useful.
Yeah. So
can you say her name again?
Natela Zvanidze.
Okay.
She was a classical music composer as well. But I find it interesting that almost 50 years ago, somebody was active in Georgia. She was not the only one, basically. But there is a huge gap between that time and the current time. We still have, in Georgia, there are still people like Tete Noise that you know,
Yes,
and
yeah.
Voesn and VCVS also. But it seems it's a very tiny amount of people doing this kind of music in the country. And how often do you get the opportunity to play in Georgia? And do you collaborate also with some of these musicians I was mentioning, like Tete Noise and so on?
Not that much. We don't get that the chance to play our electroacoustic music. Maybe twice we played before the pandemic.
Okay, experimental stuff. Yeah, because we mostly play like songs or sometimes even dance music here. But yeah, like experimental, no, we don't get that much chance for playing that.
Yeah.
We play, but not that much that I could remember that, okay, we play often or something. No, it's not like this. And about collaboration, we haven't done it before.
It's kind of hard to collaborate with.
Yeah, it's not because
people,
of it's not because
easy.
of Georgia or anything like this. It's our attitude actually. We are not comfortable that much to collaborate. I don't know why. It's just we are like this because we are always kind of busy with our own ideas. And for now that this very moment that I'm sitting here, we are working on, I don't know, 3-4 different projects with different approaches. So mostly we don't have time to collaborate, and it's like mostly our issue, not because of the country or something.
Not issue, maybe.
Yeah, personality or attitude, yeah, something like that.
Fair enough. And last year you performed at the CTM Festival in Germany, right? It was last year, I'm not sure.
No.
Sorry,
actually, it was this
January.
year.
Yeah, it was in January. It was like
it was
this year. I thought you're right.
Yeah,
sorry.
it's like before pandemic. BC is like now is kind of means before COVID.
Yeah, before COVID.
yeah, true.
Before COVID.
Was it your first performance outside of Iran and Georgia?
Not outside of Iran and Georgia. We
also played in Armenia.
And we had like live stream in Poland, which was very rare by that time. It was 2 years ago. And we got invited to a very, very good festival called Sound Art in Poland, in Krakow. But because of, we have always issues with visa and this kind of things, residency, visa, and because of political problems. So we played there as well. But live stream, by that time, it was very rare and very strange to play from home to another festival. But yes, physical performance in Europe, it was the first time we played there.
All right, so you are cursed now with the COVID anyway. You have to play from home.
Exactly.
Like many of us. You played in Armenia. And Armenia is also an interesting case because in the end, it's pretty close to Georgia, speaking about the lack of experimental music venues, experimental music gigs, and few performers as well, but also a lot of Iranians living there and composing music as well.
Yes, exactly. So, kind of Georgia. I'm not that much sure that I could say Georgia has the better scene, but I guess has the better scene than Armenia, as I just experienced there. But But there are good festivals happening there. One is Urvakan, and also another is Synthposium. These are the two festivals we played there, and we met very, very interesting artists from whole globe actually. And yeah, it was another edition of Urvakan, and it got cancelled because of this COVID. And I guess if they continue that, then it gets somewhere really good, because people were getting more and more interested in this kind of music. I could say I witnessed it actually there. It was new, but people were getting really excited about some acts. So it's growing there as well.
All right.
Yeah, I guess it's not that much difference from here, the scene.
Yes, kind of same, yeah.
Are you in touch with the Georgian label CES?
Yes, yeah, they're our friends.
Yeah. Okay. These are the people who published this vinyl of Natila Zvanidze.
Oh, recently, right?
Yes, it's a few days ago.
Yes. I saw that. It's reworking on her compositions. It was.
Yeah, there is one original piece, like, and yes, indeed, and the other ones are remixes. So there are not so many labels also in Georgia, as far as I know. Like there is CS and 100 Tapes. I'm not sure it's still active.
Yeah, it's for Teta, and the other is active in that.
Yeah. And how does music circulate around Georgia and many of the neighborhood countries? Is there a network of artists, labels maybe, exchanging music between Armenia, Georgia, and Iran, for example? I know with some other countries it's a bit difficult. Between Armenia and Turkey it's difficult, and between Armenia and Azerbaijan it's also very problematic. But do you know of some people just exchanging music ideas, projects in the region?
Maybe you're not a good source for asking that.
I don't know why we don't know. Honestly, we are really kind of we even before pandemic we were kind of isolated.
Yes, I can't answer that question because my answer wouldn't be the exact one, accurate one, because I'm not sure if there is, and I'm not sure if there is not any network. I haven't seen something like this during these 3-4 years. Maybe there is, but
maybe there is, but we are not aware of.
We are not aware of that. So if I answer that there is not, maybe there is something, but I haven't seen something like that, exchanging ideas or kind of network between these countries. Because even I guess the whole electronic music scene is kind of new here. You know, it's like even like dance music or techno clubs, they are not that much old. You know, it's like for maybe last 5-6 years they got that much popular here.
I understand. Yes. Do you have contact with the Iranian diaspora and musicians still in Iran?
Yes, with some.
Yes and no.
With some of them, and also there are many Iranian musicians like us. They don't live in Iran actually, so I can't say that with people in Iran or with musicians in Iran. For sure, many of them are our friends, even our close friends, and mostly like this we are in touch. But it's very complicated actually to answer, because our situation is not, it's not kind of normal, because we got out of there, and there are many emotions, you know, many things are going in our life, because we got kind of disconnected. We made ourselves disconnected from Iran because of many things that you know and many things that you don't know. Actually, many emotional things, many things happened there, and keeping touch with like Iranian music scene, or any kind of things that comes from Iran, is a bit difficult, because it gets mixed with many other things. So somehow this is kind of answering to the first question in the beginning, that we didn't answer, that why we got out of Iran and we came here, Georgia. We needed kind of this isolation, because we were full of, but we are still full of rage and full of many like complicated feelings about our homeland, because of the situation is going on there. And somehow, sometimes we just cut everything, cut any kind of relations with Iran, because many things make us very angry about the situation is going on there. So I don't know where I began this kind of discussion, but I ended up here. Yeah, that's the connection is sometimes you are connected, and sometimes you are completely disconnected from Iran, not because of the music, because other things.
All right.
It's kind of
Okay.
like that. We are disconnected from everywhere, it seems.
Somehow, especially these days, you know you know what I mean. It's better to be disconnected from everywhere.
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I can't tell you. All
I
right.
see.
Well, that's an interesting conclusion anyway. We are reaching the end, but if you have anything else to add, and Melody, maybe.
Sorry, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
sorry.
exactly.
We have a couple of questions, and all Trixie Delight, which it feels like you might know this person, and this person is
Yes.
sending
Yes.
hearts on YouTube.
Oh, cool.
And Dental Drill is saying that they've never seen you use a guitar before, and they're asking if it's new or if it's something that you're returning to, that you used in the past.
No.
Actually, it's new. I've been practicing like guitar recently, I can say more, and I find it more interesting to use it now. Yeah, it's a new thing.
But we use it actually on recordings, but not in live shows, I could say.
Yeah. No, exactly.
We use it, yeah. In some recordings we use this, but in live shows we just started using it more often.
And another question that we have from Tengal, who will also be part of this show soon. The question is there any person or persons who cross over between Georgian traditional music and experimental music, extended techniques, modern recording techniques, or having an ear to a global ear of contemporary?
I don't remember exactly by now. Like using folk Georgian music in contemporary compositions, right? Like in electroacoustic compositions.
And
I guess
crossing over with experimental music.
I don't have anyone in my mind right now, actually. There should be some.
Yeah, of course it should be.
There should be some. Actually, I could say I did an album like this, and it's gonna be out like in 1 month maybe. It's my solo project. It's not from Nom. I recorded Georgian chants and Christmas songs, actually, like the folk ones, and I made electroacoustic composition out of that. But for sure, there should be something or someone or maybe more composers that are doing that. I will do a research. I will do a research about that if I found something. And I guess the composer Cedric was mentioning it should be one of the composers who did that. So yes, this is the thing.
We can't hear you, Cedric.
Okay, well, I don't know.
We can hear you now.
Okay, there is a festival and label that is called Aktusheti, written with a Q,
Yes.
A-Q-T. They published a compilation that mixes folk music, I mean purely folk music,
yes,
ambient and technoid stuff and so on. So maybe through them there might be a possibility to find people who blend both. I can't remember exactly the whole compilation. It's been a while. I haven't listened to it, but if you check that label, you can check it on my database.
They are also our friends, and we're gonna perform there for the fourth time. Actually, it's a mountains like mountain region in Georgia that they have annual festival there every year, and it's gonna be this year in September. We're gonna perform there as well. So that compilation is not about just Georgian music. Actually, it's the artists who play in Aktusheti Festival that are also foreign. Many of them are like foreign artists. So I mean, like specifically using Georgian folk music, I don't have anything in my mind for now. But I will write to Tangle for sure if I find something, because it's an interesting.
All right, thanks. Any other question, Melody? Or
no, that's it on YouTube. I have no more
questions.
Thank
you.
Thank you too.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
All right. Okay, so I reached the very end now. So yeah, thank you a lot for the interview and the performance. It was very kind of you to take time for this, and interesting to talk to you and hear a tiny bit of your story. I hope people will check your Bandcamp as well and follow what you do. And yeah, next show will be Tengal, who was asking a question from the Philippines, early September. And well, I hope see you whenever, wherever. Thank you and bye-bye.
Bye, thanks.